Welcome back to my channel. I struggled for years with severe digestive issues. I looked 6 months pregnant first thing in the morning before even drinking water. I ended up figuring out I had 15 types of parasites, H. pylori, SIBO, and so many other things. And today I want to break down the low FODMAP diet. This was a diet that a lot of doctors, a lot of individuals turn to when it comes to healing their gut, get rid of gas, bloating, IBS. But here's the deal. I did this diet for several years. I ended up getting to restriction of around 4 to 5 ingredients because every time I would add something back in, I would get more gas, more bloating, and then get in this vicious cycle. It took me healing my gut, getting to the root cause to really overcome it. And that's what I do nowadays. I help individuals heal their gut, get rid of digestive issues for good. Because the truth is, if you are telling me that you are only on a few ingredients and you're like, I feel good as long as I eat on this list, your gut is not healed and we really need to do some healing. So welcome back. We're deep diving into the low FODMAP diet, what it is, why it's used for bloating, a whole thing, how people typically do it, and how to actually get it to where you're able to add more foods in, heal your gut, and get rid of digestive issues for good. I love it. And before we go into it, I'm Elizabeth with Elizabeth Ayler Fitness. I got my 4-year degree in kinesiology, CSCS. I am a holistic nutrition consultant and a GAPS practitioner. Stands for gut and psychology syndrome. And I help women build muscle, lose fat, heal their gut, balance their hormones, and get sustainable results when it comes to fat loss. So what exactly is the low FODMAP diet? Basically, what this stands for is it stands for, I may mess this up, guys, big words, fermentable oligosaccharides, disaccharides, monosaccharides, and polyols. And these are basically short chain carbohydrates that are poorly absorbed in the small intestine. And they could be fermented by your gut bacteria, leading to gas production, drawing in water into the colon, which can give you those symptoms such as bloating, gas, stomach pain, diarrhea, and even constipation in sensitive individuals. So the key components of a low FODMAP diet, it's broken into kind of 3 phases. You have your elimination phase. So basically, if you guys Google low FODMAP diet, you'll see a list of all these foods. A lot of individuals that have that IBS, and I'm going to use myself as an example. When I was dealing with my severe digestive issues, I heard about the low FODMAP diet. I cut out all these foods. I, initially removed them strictly for around 4 to 6 weeks. And I started feeling better, less gas, less bloating, because remember, these are fermented by the gut bacteria. So if I'm not putting things in there, when I have an imbalance in my bacteria, in my gut, my system will not be having those gas pains, that bloating, and that discomfort. So when people go to a low FODMAP diet, like me, when I did it, my symptoms got better. I started, feeling less bloated. My stomach started feeling flat. Why am I tripping over my words today? I'm sorry, guys. And this is the deal. The next phase is a reintroduction phase. So say, for example, you cut out all your food. So I'll use me again. I went on the low FODMAP diet. I got to this elimination. I was on limited foods. My symptoms started feeling better. And then the whole goal is to be able to reintroduce those phases so you're able to get the food back in. But the problem is if we don't address the underlying cause and you try to add the foods back in, because you didn't get to the root cause, you're going to have the gas, you're going to have the bloating. I remember every time I tried to add one new food in, and I have clients that have had the same issue. They're like, I'm so restricted and I'm afraid to add in food because everything I feel like I'm reacting to. And for me, I added in, maybe a little bit more fennel that went over the FODMAPs, or more avocado higher in FODMAPs. The gas, the bloating, everything came back. So what did I do? Boom, cut it out again. And the problem with this is it leads to something called restriction, guys. And when we cut out all of these food groups and we don't address the root problem, and then we're stuck on this limited diet, What happens is we start getting depleted in our vitamins and minerals because we're not getting that. Then our body gets sensitive to more things. And then you feel like you're getting more and more restrictive with our diet. We're not addressing our gut microbiome. And then we get stuck here with chronic anxiety, afraid to adding in new foods. And we don't want that. We do not want that. So I'm going to share with you how we overcome this and the most important part with overcoming digestive issues for good. And before we go into that, some examples of high and low FODMAP foods I'm going to list out for you. So some high FODMAP foods would be, like wheat-based products, dairy products with lactose in them, certain fruits such as apples and pears, or even legumes, garlic, onion. And some low FODMAP foods that are generally tolerated are things like carrots, cucumbers, oranges, grapes, white rice, quinoa. These are gluten-free grains. And remember, when we're trying to heal the gut, I'm not saying a low FODMAP diet is horrible. When we're able to get the stomach feeling better, get the inflammation down, that's awesome. We can get the bowels moving again with my clients. It's great for helping get and healing the gut. But if we don't, like I said, get to the root cause of what's going on, we end up becoming so limited, and then years go by and we're on more limited of a diet, still dealing with those digestive issues. And we do not want that. I want my clients to have an expanded food list. For years, I was stuck on so little foods. I had chronic anxiety, would Google everything. And no matter how many doctors I went to, they said I was fine. They didn't know what it was. So before I go into how we're actually going to heal the gut, I want to just say something. For all of you individuals out there that have been to every doctor, you've done the low FODMAP diet, you've, tried the probiotics, you feel worse. You feel bloated, 6 months pregnant, first thing in the morning. You have severe IBS. Doing one diet, it's not going to fix it. We have to start off with our gut microbiome. Our gut microbiome, 60% of our immune system's in there. If we got acne, skin issues going on, all of that is our gut, guys. I had histamine issues, mast cell activation. All of it is tied together. If we've done antibiotics, if we were a C-section, all of these disrupt our good and bad bacteria. And if you want to learn more a little bit about leaky gut and our gut microbiome, I have a whole live on my YouTube channel. And it's a 3-part live taking you through what is leaky gut, causes of it, how to heal it, and so forth. And I also highly recommend watching the playlist of my SIBO story that I'm going to try to put a little highlight in this YouTube for you guys. But if you are enjoying this so far, make sure to share it with a friend. Make sure you subscribe. We got daily videos here. And my whole point was, before we go what into heal, I am super excited because I have a few spots right now for my digestive coaching. And I don't just eliminate food out of my clients and say, hey, take this laxative here. We get to the root cause of digestive issues. We heal the inner lining of the gut. We restore the gut microbiome. And like I said, it's not as simple as add probiotics here. If we have things like SIBO going on, adding in probiotics or even the wrong ones can make your gas, your bloating worse. I couldn't do fermented foods. We have to do it in a strategic way to where we're able to get the inflammation down in the gut, heal the gut lining, and then add those foods in a specific way so we're not reacting. But the whole key right here is addressing the root cause. And if you need help with this, this is literally my specialty. I work with clients all around the world. And what we do is I work with clients with gastroparesis, SIBO, H. pylori, parasites, severe digestive issues, chronic stress, anxiety, all of that. And this is my whole point. And if you guys want to work with me on my YouTube, I will put all the information in the show notes below. And if you're on my Instagram, just send me over that DM gut. But here's the deal. When it comes to healing our gut and get rid of digestive issues for good, we have to figure out what the underlying cause is. We have to, number one, using something like a low FODMAP diet initially in the beginning to get down inflammation may be great, but we never want to stay there. We have to look at, do we have histamine issues, mold? Do we have SIBO? What's that underlying cause? We got to get our bowels moving. That's number two, because a stagnant colon just allows that fermentation. We want to get the bowels moving in a natural way. And a lot of individuals with digestive issues have high stress, chronic anxiety. We tend to hold our bowels, which makes us not go more and then laxatives come in. And we don't want to do that long term. And then the next thing is we got to get to that root cause. We have to restore our entire gut microbiome. I have a way, in a specific way that I do it, to where if we have leaky gut going on, guys, and we have an imbalance of good and bad bacteria, number one, probiotics, we have to get a specific one to help heal the lining of the gut. If we heal the lining of gut, you're not going to have foods leaking into the bloodstream and having the reactions to it. So I don't even do food sensitivity tests. I am not a fan of it. I focus on healing the gut lining. I have a strategic way of adding in new foods so that we're not reacting. And then if we have SIBO, H. pylori, we want to make sure that we're not just doing a cleanse or taking antibiotics to get rid of it that kill the good and bad bacteria. We have to look at things like biofilm disruptors because parasites and stuff latch onto your intestinal lining and we have to scrub that away. For example, I had really bad parasites. I did antibiotics for it. And I went through all the die-off. I was on the floor. You need to watch my SIBO story. I think a lot of you may relate to me. And what happened was a month later, everything came back because I didn't get the eggs and the parasites rehatch. And I was in this such a vicious cycle of just limited food, rice, white rice, chicken, arugula, and coconut oil for years. And it took me getting down to it, restoring my gut microbiome, getting rid of the parasites with biofilm disruptors in a specific way, and adding it back in. And our bodies are amazing. They can heal. But I will tell you, it's just not as simple as add in kombucha and add in these fermented foods. There's more to it than that. And if we have, like I said, SIBO and all of that, you may feel worse on those things. The reason I wanted to do this video today is because like I said, I work with so many individuals with severe digestive issues, even people that are addicted to like 26 sennas, like tons of laxatives. They have their colon, a foot of it removed. And I see the anxiety that happens around food when it happens and how restrictive you get. And I really just never want anyone to feel this way again. And I'm so grateful for everything I went through because I'm able to heal people because of it. So if you struggle with severe digestive issues, send me over a little DM gut on Instagram or head to the show notes below. And I highly recommend that you watch my SIBO story. I'm going to try to, like I said, I'm going to link it right here at the very end of the playback of this YouTube. So if you go back and rewatch this live on YouTube, I will have it linked at the very end. And just know you can heal, but it's not as simple as just cut everything out and then add it back in. If you don't get to the root cause, heal the inner lining of the gut and specific to you, because everybody's body is different. Everyone's gut microbiome is different. Then you're going to be limited for a while. And I was limited for years. And now I'm able to eat so many more foods. I don't have gluten and dairy because I actually am celiac and my throat closes with dairy. But I was on 4 foods, guys. And I have clients come to me on very limited. And like I'm expanding. I have one client, we hopped on a call this morning. We're 2 weeks in. Her food list went from like 5 or 6 foods. She's up to 40 foods now with no reaction, having daily bowel movements. Like after going to every doctor and spending thousands of dollars. And then when we heal our gut, it's crazy what happens with our skin. If we had severe skin issues, I have clients with iron deficiencies, thyroid issues, guys. All of this is linked to our gut, linked to our metabolism, weight loss, you name it. So I love you guys. Make sure you are subscribed. I got a whole digestive playlist. I'm going to link my SIBO story. I will see you tomorrow and go check out the last few days lives. I have everything saved under a live playlist for you. And yeah, I love you guys. And I'm just so excited. Comment below on the live on my YouTube and let me know what topics you guys would like me to cover next. More on gut, more on thyroid, you name it. And little side note for all of those on fat loss, I have 2 spots left for my next 90-day transformation challenge. Starts on Monday. So DM me ready, or you can literally type in the same little in the show notes, click the same link, and we will set up a call to see for that perfect fit. I hope you have a beautiful day, and I love you guys.